and Zeke. I was able to get Saquon at the 3 last time, which I thought was interesting. Usually he should go before Michael Thomas due to positional scarcity. It did not turn out that way either way. It was fine. I was not complaining. My team was pretty solid. Um, so yeah, I have not had a team with Zeke yet, or revolving a team from the fourth pick slot. So interested to see how this goes. There are 12 live people in here for a Friday night, so that is good. And there was some news that broke today. So, in case you did not hear or check the Twitterverse or anything like that, Debo Samuel broke his foot. So, Debo currently is out of commission for 10 weeks. And then they said he should be fine. Now, personally, I don't necessarily buy that. Apparently, the last person to have this injury that was similar to him was Keem Nicks. He was never the same after. You lose a lot of your explosiveness, your wide receiver, like your explosiveness, your ability to cut and dart. Oh my God, this man just took. No, I don't pick two Lamar Jackson. This is crazy. This is just a regular PPR league. This isn't like a super draft league or anything like that, or super flex. This is like super flex. That would be insane. Okay, if someone took Zeke at the 2, it's not even get Zeke, where he's currently graded by Pro Football Focus. So I'm just gonna take Saquon again. Oh my God. All right. So Debo broke his foot. This is definitely. I don't think he's gonna be ready for the beginning of the season. I think Brandon Ayuk, his draft stock goes up quite a bit. I also think George Kittle is going to be very established now in this offense. He already has like a very defined role on the field where he's there pretty much every down that he can be physically, either blocking, working as a decoy, or just making plays in general. Like George Kittle's always in the center, I feel, of making plays for San Francisco. Like I said, whether it's blocking, just being a role player on offense. Anyway, he can assist the team, he does. He's like the ideal team player and the embodiment of that, in my opinion. But I think he's in for like a bigger year. This arguably might put him in like the tight end 1 slot, like where you just want him over Kelsey, and that makes sense. So yeah, there's Brandon Ayuk's over there. They got rid of Marquise Goodwin in the offseason. I also think that this also makes them, like, as crazy as it sounds, rely more on the run than they had in the past. So let's just see like the depth chart real quick for San Francisco since we're talking about this. So yeah, it's obviously Debo and then Brandon Ayuk. As I stated, Kendrick Bourne is still there and Dante Pettis, and that's like really it. Like they don't really have anyone, so their depth at wide receiver is just really bad. So that's very interesting. Like I said, I think George Kittle's draft stock goes up, as well as Brandon Ayuk, and they'll probably be without him for like 4. Like I think he'll be back playing by like week 4 for sure. But I don't think like with the way the world is currently that he comes back from this broken foot like this just ready to go balls to the wall like right away when the season starts, which ironically is in like 10 weeks also, so this timeline is like really tight, and that's a little worrisome in the first place because if like there's already not like a camp, and if he already has like minimal training, or there is camp, the camp starts on the 28th of July, but if he can't participate in camp and he hasn't really had any like fruitful off-season workouts where he's just doing like stuff at home. I know he was saying on a couple shows he's working out with like he was working out with Cam and there's Julio was out there, um, Mohamed Sanu, like a couple other wide receivers. They were all doing work together in Atlanta during this off-season. He was in the mix down there, which is like a very good group to be a part of, but it's not comparable to like being with your team and like putting in work. So I was really high on Debo like coming in before this, but like now I don't want like that risk right now. I don't think it's a very good EV. So just as a bit of a recap so far, of course you can see the ticker, but we got Christian McCaffrey go at the 1, then Lamar. Zeke went at the 3. I took Saquon at the 4. Kamara went at the 5. Michael Thomas at the 6. Dalvin Cook at the 7. Derrick Henry at the 8. Devontae, Nick Chubb, Tyreek Hill, DeAndre. Someone with DeAndre and then Julio back-to-back picks. I mean, I would have probably went like Chris Godwin, Julio, Joe Mixon, Kenyon Drake, Patrick Mahomes, now Aaron Jones. So hopefully right here, for the second pick, I can land Austin Eckler or Josh Jacobs. If not, I am fine taking Miles Sanders. I think that'll be solid. Excuse me. He should be good for a big year. I definitely do want to go this robust RB strategy. It looks like I may be in a similar predicament to where I have been in the past in a couple different slots where for like my third pick, I'll have like a choice of taking like another security running back or grabbing like one of these pretty solid like top like 3 through 7 like wide receivers wherever they may land between like these like 5 guys really. So let's see. Josh Jacobs just went. If Eckler is on the board, I will be tempted to take Eckler. If not, I mean, I might have to take Clyde. All right, so Eckler's there. I'm going to take Eckler. I have a couple of pretty solid late week running backs. If Kenny Galladay's not there, I do have like a very top wide receiver option here in Adam Thielen. That is good. Or I could take like the possible Christian McCaffrey of the future about taking Clyde, even though you don't know how the work's going to split with like him and Damian Williams. So that's like iffy. I kind of don't want Juju or Cooper. I don't want to take a tight end here, even though I was just saying how Kittle's role becomes a bit more defined and such. It's just not kind of where I want to be. If for some reason Clyde's gone here, I don't know. I think if... Alright, so he stretched for Le'Veon Bell. I'm definitely gonna just take Clyde Edwards-Helaire here in the 3rd round. That's absolutely fine to me. There's arguments where you could take like Fournette, Chris Carson, or like Todd Gurley, or like David Johnson, like any of those 4 guys over Clyde. But I think youth is gonna hold over here. Clyde's got great hands and going in that offense. So like Patrick Mahomes, like personally picked Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Like when they were asking them like, oh, who do you like in the draft? Who do you think would be a good addition to the team? And he legit told them like, you need to get Clyde. Like, get me Clyde. I don't care what you do. Get me Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So he's gonna play a role in that offense. Maybe it's like after like week 6, like midway through the season, where he finally like gels, because like getting hit by like grown men in the NFL is like way different from like dealing with like college, where you're probably like an alpha male. In the NFL, you're just like, you become like a beta at the time when you're a rookie. So like it's just a different predicament that he's used to. But I think he's like has the talent, and he's one of the players that can bounce back from that and like make good. So let's see here. Now coming up at wide receivers, going in the 4th round. Seems like we have a couple on the board here that look pretty juicy. Juju's still up there. I doubt he's going to fall to me, though. We got A.J. Brown, Robert Woods, Calvin Ridley, Cooper Kupp. All about those guys. I kind of don't want to stretch on Devontae. That's a little much. I think I could get like a really good wide receiver here. And then possibly be able to snag like James Conner or Raheem Mostert. Even if not, if I can get like someone in like DK Metcalf or like Stephon Diggs, I think it'll be fine. Jonathan Taylor, Cam Akers. I do need that like fourth running back. I don't want to take 4 in a row though. Like I've already taken like 3 running backs, so I do need to get someone who has upside of being like a top 10 wide receiver. Hopefully that will be Calvin Ridley. If not, I mean Cooper Kupp, I'm fine with taking him. Like I said, I'm fine with like any one of those guys, and then possibly landing. Calvin Ridley goes there, and then possibly landing like DK Metcalf or Stephon. I think that's like a fine 1-2. I think there's gonna be like some solid rookie wide receivers this year. The draft class was already very deep, but I think the talent level mixed with like the like where they landed for their upside. Jonathan Taylor goes early at the 4-3 there. That's actually very surprising. Well, I think he's extremely talented. He's definitely going to be the man in Indianapolis because they want to do one thing out there, and that's run the fucking ball. Robert Woods goes. So Robert Woods goes before A.J. Brown. That's kind of wild. If A.J. Brown lands to me and I'm able to land like A.J. Brown and like DK Metcalf, that is insane. I'm going to be all about that. Or like even A.J. Brown and like Devontae Parker is very solid. And like Mostert's hanging in there. James Conner's hanging in there. I just need to grab 2 wide receivers right now. This is like one of the things where I haven't done recently in this, and that is take 3 running backs like back to back. A.J. Brown fell to me. That was great. I took 3 running backs back to back instead of going like running back, wide receiver, running back, wide receiver. To get a little more like higher floor on my wideout 1, but A.J. Brown in my wideout 1, I think he's definitely in the top 7. He's somewhere that made like after you have like Michael Thomas and Devontae Adams, like the 3 through 7 is just kind of like this like hodgepodge. Even like the 3 through 10, like they're just all like very much like the same like floor ceiling. Maybe not like the 3 like Julio. But he's going to give up like a lot of work to Calvin Ridley, and he hasn't been like the healthiest player the last couple of years too. Like that's a big risk that a lot of people don't necessarily factor in when you're like ranking these players and drafting them and analyzing just them throughout their fulfillment of being able to play the year. Alright, so Raheem Mostert went and James Conner went. All them boys. I'm able to snag Devontae Parker here. I will take that. So my core starting off is Saquon Barkley, Austin Eckler, A.J. Brown, Devontae Parker, flexing hard with some Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Seems very good. If David Montgomery or Cam Akers can fall to me as my 4th running back, I will take them. Like, I will not hesitate to do that. If not, then I just have some good options at wide receiver to just get a 3rd. I think I might end up with having like a good wide receiver pick and then like a possible solid turn with being able to take like Kyler Murray, which I mean, it's nothing to scoff at. Mark Andrews goes there, okay. So probably prompt someone to want to maybe take a stretch at Darren Waller coming up in the next couple picks. DK goes. I did not think he was going to fall to me for my third wideout. David Montgomery goes there. DJ Shark, okay. So if you notice between like, there goes Darren Waller as I predicted. So if you notice like something about like these wide receivers from like the last like 5 wide receiver picks or so, they all have like a very similar like range of outcomes between that like 18 to like 25 range. Um, except with the possibility of like Cooper Kupp and Devontae Parker just having like multiple touchdown games. But aside from that, like like Jarvis will like possibly get you a touchdown, like somewhere between like 5 and 7 receptions, but probably like 70 yards or so. DK could be the same thing. DJ Shark is very high floor, in my opinion, and very high ceiling. He's pretty boom bust, but I think he's very consistent where his boom bust is. So I think this is actually going to put me in an interesting spot if Cam Akers is gone here. Because running back is drying up really quick. I think J.K. Dobbins? No, he's right there. Okay, he's still there. So that's solid. But like, aside from Cam Akers, like I don't want to go near any of these guys until we get to like Matt Breida and like J.K. Dobbins. I think I might have to take Damian Williams like as a handcuff just to have him there. Definitely gonna have McFarlane, Chase Edmonds, Dobbins, Moss. I'm just queuing these guys up for later as my later round running back prospects if Cam Akers here does not fall to me. And even if he doesn't, like I said, I do feel like I get a very solid turn here of getting a wide receiver in the like. I'm fine taking Julian Edelman as like my third wideout, and then snagging Kyler Murray, or even taking like Marvin Jones. Will Fuller is just he's too like uncertain. Like his health is just so bad. He's never played a full season, like just period, since he's been in the NFL. Like I don't want to draft players like that. You're not getting your return on your investment. As Ben sounds, and man, someone took Cam Akers. There is also Keyshawn Vaughn here, and like Ronald Jones is good. like, so let's see here. I think we're gonna try. We're gonna take Julian Edelman here. Take Julian Edelman and try and snag Kyler Murray. Maybe if it pans out, I'll just be able to ride on with some of these rookie running backs. Even though I could have just took Keyshawn Vaughn, but like that backfield looks very much like the Patriots backfield when they had like Ridley, Woodhead, and James White, where they're all like very much like a similar player, but they're not like all at the same time. As like weird of a dynamic as it is, and like hard as it is to try and like analyze like what I said, and like kind of even for me to like explain it, like they have a very similar skill set. They're all like built the same way, but they all do very very different things in the offense. I think that's how like the Tampa Bay scheme is going to be in the backfield now. Is the up this coming up year is like everyone's just going to have like their role where they're trusted and they're not going to make mistakes, and that's just like it's going to be like defined and like very cut and dry. No one's going to be like the guy. So I really hope no one takes Kyler Murray here. That'd be very nice. Oh, how the 49ers wish they still had Emmanuel Sanders after today. So this is when everything gets pretty interesting now, as far as like you get to see people's actual like intuition and like how their research has gone so far for doing this. All right, so Kyler's all ours. So it actually did work out, kind of how I predicted. Team's shaking out to like pretty solid. Hmm. Hmm. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'm gonna take one of these three tight ends in like the 10th round. Probably later, to be honest. I don't know, maybe not. We'll see. And Denzel Mims in New York. Whew. Brandon Ayuk, baby. Cue that boy up real quick. And even Jamison Crowder. Jamison Crowder is like legitimately a wide receiver one. All right, so me taking Kyler and the next person taking Dak might try and prompt some people to start taking quarterbacks if like Russell Wilson goes in the next couple picks. Jordan Howard playing for Miami. Nah, man. Matt Breida is going to be leading that running back that backfield in Miami. Mark my words. Matt Breida will be the starting running back in Miami. Not Jordan Howard. Oh, jeez. All right, so now that 3 quarterbacks went this round, interesting to see if, like, somewhere in these stretch of guys, people start going and people start reaching. Oh, no! And took Brandon Cooks. Well, Christian Kirk is still there. So is Deontay Johnson. We'll gladly take either one of those guys. Fuck. There goes Deontay Johnson. Oh no! The man with the broken foot. So I normally I like love Preston Williams in this situation, but I have Devontae Parker, so staying away from Preston. But Christian Kirk is going to be very solid. So I definitely can't grab him and be able to grab like hopefully J.K. Dobbins. and a steal in the 9th round. Silly. It's like, let's be real, Mark Ingram, he's not getting his contract renewed. Not happening. I think J.K. Dobbins, too, is like also very much like Kamara was coming out his rookie year. I think like they already have the blueprint on the table for like you put a rookie running back with Mark Ingram, have him like show him a few things. Who's like athletic, explosive, has good hands, good burst, it's slippery, elusive, like good yards after contact, like all of these things that J.K. Dobbins has. Mark Ingram's days in Baltimore are numbered. Or they just split work. Like New Orleans did with Kamara and Ingram, and it's fine. And J.K. Dobbins has like a 60 to 40 workload compared to Ingram, and like they just coexist together, and it's fine. Like either one of those options I'm fine with. So we're taking Christian Kirk, snapping him off. I don't know what Henry Ruggs is going to do. I don't even know who the quarterback is going to be in Vegas between Derek Carr and Marcus Mariota. Don't even want to try to figure that out. The only person I want from Vegas or people is Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller. Everyone else, kick rocks. Maybe beside Hunter Renfrow in like the last round. Like that's it. If there's any other people you see that you're like thinking like, oh man, like I don't know, they could be in Vegas, like they're in a dome now, like blah blah blah. No way, not risking it, not anywhere near my radar. Darius Slayton goes. So I could grab Justin Jefferson, but I'm just going to take J.K. Dobbins. Because there's no more running backs. That Damian Williams is there. Handcuff him with Clyde. It's probably not going to stretch to me, though. If that's what happens, that's what happens. Sorry about that. Someone asking me about investing into basketball cards. Which, if you're not on this train yet before this bubble burst, like, you might have missed getting on the train on the low before, but, like, you're still getting on the train before it hits, like, the mid. Because once the season starts, there's just going to be the biggest burst. Or, like, boom, and prices are going to skyrocket, and it's going to be great. I can't wait. Oh man, do I get Justin Jefferson on the backswing? I might. If Justin Jefferson falls back to me, the ultimate trust. Kill Harry, no Fant. Hopefully I can grab Justin Jefferson and Hayden Hurst, my team will be fantastic. No! It happened. Alright, we're going to take Hayden Hurst. I just want to get my tight end out the way then. I don't want to get sniped. I'm getting him in the 10th round. It doesn't matter. Like, Jalen Reagor goes. Matt Breed is still there. Fucking Brandon Ayuk. Eat your heart out, Deebo Samuel, with your broken foot, dog. That seems like a steal. This mix of like KC guys between Sammy and Hardman, which are basically like the same person. I also forgot I have Damian Williams showing up here. Fuck. I arguably could have just handcuffed him instead. No. Every time I've like said someone's name, you're like, oh, this guy's fine, blah, blah, blah. It just gets stolen. Man, Josh Allen dropped to 10th. This is how you know if your draft has like sensible people, because they're taking like all the running backs and all the wide receivers, like skill position players, and they're leaving like the quarterbacks who have like the very similar outcomes. Who the hell just took Joe Burrow? Very similar outcomes and ranges in like these mid to like later rounds. Like after you get through like the first like 4 or 5 quarterbacks between like Mahomes, Lamar, Kyler, and like Dak this year, like you can arguably put like Russell in that same conversation, I feel. Like aside from that, like there's everyone else is basically in that same like range of outcome. Matt Ryan is like statistically solid and sound like the past couple years. Both from like a real life and a fantasy perspective. So that is something to take into regard in consideration when you're like eyeballing that. But like also too, like look at like you could totally win your league with Jared Goff. You can win your league with Baker Mayfield. Like Jimmy G, maybe. Kirk Cousins, maybe. This asshole just took Justin Tucker. Fuck. Man. Alright, so I'm going to take Harrison Butker. I'm going to try and push this. So this guy has been, like, sniping me when he's ahead of me. And I'm pretty sure I've been sniping him on, like, the reverse. But we've kind of been using each other to influence the way this draft has been going. And kind of get these people, like, manipulate the importance of picks. Control the narrative, if you will, the best terminology. I'll take Harrison Butker. That's a good pick. He kicks a lot of footballs. He kicks them hard. And he kicks them for a team that's pretty much always in the red zone. Anthony Miller here is a fine pick. Probably going to snap that one off. Don't see how I don't, to be honest. He was just a fantasy super stud at the end of last season. So upset. So upset. So upset. Can't believe. Can't believe he just got taken. It's so awful. I'm just gonna take this Steelers defense. So tilted. I want to take Anthony McFarland. I'm just gonna take a defense. Maybe I'll get everyone to start taking defenses. Everyone will be like, oh shit, it is about that time. And if they don't, fuck them. Man. At least this is like a smart draft. And people are like not just taking like pro ADP ranked picks, because that just doesn't make things necessarily interesting or skillful. Oh, someone fell for it. No one else did. but one person did. And that's all that matters sometimes. Maybe I'll still get Anthony McFarland. Who knows? Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Someone will be like, man, did you see that Instagram picture? James Conner is back, though? Oh, there's another one. Just buying me time to getting to real players. I had the Patriots defense like last year in like all my leagues because like no one took them, and then they scored like 30 points for like the first 5 weeks or whatever the hell it was. But they had like something like 6 like 20-point plus games last year, and it was pretty absurd. Oh man. Joshua Kelly from the Chargers goes before Anthony McFarland. James, not made of glass, Conner is in the backfield, but that man's back. He's going to be having to run sideways through holes because the dude's looking yoked. So I do get McFarland here. I'm just going to take him because there's no reason to not take a late round flyer on the guy. I'm going to take Chase Edmonds too because Chase Edmonds is going to lead the backfield. And I'm probably going to take Devin Funchess on my last pick. I don't know why, but that's just how it's been working out. Where my last two picks and like pretty much, God fucking damn it, pretty much every draft have been Chase Edmonds and Devin Funchess. That's not going to happen now. Because this douchebag just reaches on Chase Edmonds, knowing I'm going to take Chase Edmonds. Ah, that's frustrating. Hell. Oh, it's so bad. I am just going to cut someone off and take Jared Goff. Maybe Kyler Murray just doesn't get it this year. Maybe he gets literally broken in half. Again, like Mankind getting thrown off Hell in the Cell by like Aaron Donald. There's actually a very likely possibility that Aaron Donald like literally just hits Kyler Murray so hard that he just breaks in two. So I'll take the security deposit, take Jared Goff, because at least the only time he has to get hit by Aaron Donald is when he plays him in practice. And hopefully, land Devin Funchess. He's the number 2 in Green Bay. It's either him or Lazard. They're both not going drafted. And I've been grabbing either or in the last round of like all my drafts. So I don't know. I don't get it. I'll take a wide receiver number 2 in the last round all day. Considering I have like 4 wide receiver ones now, since Brandon Ayuk just got upgraded, he just got drafted. Because everyone else in the San Francisco receiving corps just literally has bricks for hands. I should probably take a cycle of juice and get my sprint and my 40-yard time up. And go try out for the San Francisco slot receiver with Debo's broken foot. Did he get taken? Where did he go? There he is. Bam. Boom. Not the best time, but it is what it is. Alright, so Saquon, Eckler, 3rd round Clyde, AJ, Devontae, Julian Kyler, Christian Kirk. I like the correlation possibility there. I think that's fine. J.K. Dobbins, Hayden Hurst, Ayuk, Booker, Steelers McFarland. I like the possibility of James Conner probably not being able to last the whole season, and McFarland just setting in to be a stud. Like, who is Benny Snell? Who is Benny Snell? That's really all I have to say about that.